welcome to Animation Express's YouTube channel. I am Poonam and today we are back with a brand new video. And for the same, let me introduce to you Mr. Vishal Parekh, CMO Nodwin Gaming. Welcome,
Hi,
sir.
everyone. Hi. Thank you.
Okay. So today we will be talking about BGMI Master Series, which is set to go live from 24 June 2022. How is the preparation going on?
How everybody is feeling, you can see with my smile. Everybody's so excited, thrilled, and looking forward to this whole bit of how this is going to pan up. First ever esports tournament coming on TV. What more can we ask for?
So coming up, since it's coming for the first time on linear TV, past it was like on a digital platform like Voot and others. So I want to understand, what went behind the collaboration with Star Sports since it's the first time.
I think what went behind is, I would say, conviction. Everybody believed that it's a sport. And if it's a sport, it has to be on India's biggest sports network and on television, on prime time, and not for just 1 or 2 days, for like almost 3 weeks. So yes, I think that's what I would say, one word of it. If it's a sport, it has to be on TV. So yeah.
So do you think esports is ready for the prime time?
Absolutely, you will see it. Let me not go overboard in excitement, but yes, I say this because there is an audience who really look forward to watching esports, and there is an audience who have heard about this terminology, but they don't really know what it means. Like any other new sport, everybody wants to understand, everybody wants to see how it is being played, what are the ways to the matrices, and what are the stats, and why some player is called the MVP. What does it actually mean? There are a lot of questions and people will have. So when it goes on prime time and when people start understanding this whole game and the whole culture of esports, is where we will see that yes, I mean, it is a sport and it has probably our wish list. What we see few quarters or maybe couple of years down the line is probably this becomes the second best esports in the country after cricket.
Yeah. So any specific target audience like you want to target through like Star Sports? I mean, families, maybe we should not concentrate just the Gen Zs and the millennials.
Yes, you actually got it right, Buddha, because what is going to happen is for all the gamers or people who understand this, culture of esports, they're already on digital. Right. What we are trying to do now is even people who are following esports but did not really have the bandwidths or did not really have option to watch it without any lag, without any internet speed issues, we give this opportunity by putting everything on linear. So obviously that new audience is what we cater to. And then the other audience is, like you said, the family, right? Mera bachcha kya pura din game khelta tha is now on TV and on Star Sports. It's right like a wow thing, it's an how Akshats call it as an aha moment, right? So it is more of seeing my kid on TV. It never happened, right? I never came on TV, never came on Star. I mean, all those Saas Bahu thing was something which all I used to see. Now I'm going to see my kid playing on TV. That's a big thing. And then I'm going to tell all my relatives and friends and uncles and aunties who said, you are wasting time. See, you were telling him wasting time. He's much more popular now. So all these things happen. It's more of, that's one part of it. Then as I said, the other audience is people who heard about it, probably wanted to know more, is the completely new audience which comes on board. So it really breaks, age barrier. It breaks all your, as you said, the Gen Zs and all. It breaks and it cut across people who really want to understand a new sport. And we've seen how many sports have come in for a last decade or something. You have Kabaddi, never thought Kabaddi on TV, but there it is, right? So, and now it's not just people who play Kabaddi, people who watch because it is something which I like watching. I understand this game. I have my heroes who are really playing good. All these factors keeps building, and that's how a sport gets bigger and bigger. The larger number of people start watching it, mainstream sport activity.
A 5 year down the line, this thing will become craze as cricket.
Absolutely. It's a first step in that direction, right? So probably we would say the second best sport after cricket in India is what, as I would look at it.
Since it is coming on the sports channel for the first time, but esports is yet to be declared as a sport in India. It's there outside, but it is yet to declare. Do you think this major leap will definitely influence the government to declare esports as a sport?
Okay, let me marketeers and business people here and people who understand this as a sport. I mean, take it as a sport. I mean, it's no way we are trying to influence someone or we are trying to say this is right, this is wrong. So it's better. I mean, I think government knows what it is. So I wouldn't really get into that.
Any expectations from the BGMI Master Tournament in terms of number of audience or number of viewers you are just expecting?
So between Glance and Loco, our digital media partners,
Yes.
they have like millions of them who are going to watch it, right? So Loco is known for gaming streaming platforms. So obviously they have their subscriber base, they have audiences who people come on their platform and watch game streams. Glance is doing another exploratory thing because they've been known for the lock screen innovation that they've got into India. So that brings us a completely new audience and of course linear, right? So how many people watch Star Sports? I don't even need to really think on those lines, right? So, but do we benchmark or do we target something here? Absolutely no, because it's a first time, right? And whatever happens, it's something which we are setting benchmarks. I mean, there is no way we can say, oh, I look at million people watching or 10 million people watching. It's not that. It's not about how many people would watch us live. It's more about how people who watch it, did they enjoy? Are they coming back? Are they going to be glued on their TVs from whatever 8 or 8:30 p.m. in the night till the light like 11 o'clock 11:30, like the way people watched IPL? Once that happens, that is the more way to measure whether this is becoming a likable sport. Are people following this? Are people able to understand the emotions around when people lose, when people win, when they get the man of the match kind of MVP thing, or when people do certain strategy and then they say, oh, as a team these guys lost, but then they were really up to the mark in giving a tough fight to the best possible team in India. So these are things which really bring feel of whether this is successful or not. And honestly, we've been there. We've seen how esports have grown from what it was in last 6-7 years. So we know this is going to happen. So it's not about benchmarking numbers, but it's more about saying that yes, we Nodwin know this is the way forward, and if somebody can do it, it's only Nodwin who can do this. So that is how it falls in place.
And the industry needs such kind of entertainment definitely to make that benchmark.
Yeah, it's not just the gamers and the families and people who organize these tournaments or people who broadcast this tournament. There are a lot of brands who want to talk to this audience who's never been on TV, who were probably not able to reach because of their ad blockers on their digital devices, right? So it's an opportunity. It's a lot more is going to happen here.
Since it's coming on the linear TV, how has the brand's response been? Are you like witnessing any change in brand's outlook towards the esports industry?
I would say change. I mean, change is a very small word here. I mean, people have reached out saying, oh, what is this? People who did not even had esports in their media plan have started talking to us saying, what next? I mean, where can I get associated? And what we're trying to do is we do a lot of, hand holding saying, don't just be here because everybody's here. You need to figure out what message, what is your audience, what's your long-term strategy here? Because if you come and go, it doesn't really help you here. The audience is completely different than the normal SaaS Bahu audience or any other, the TV, the linear media audience. So you need to understand them. And that's where we come into picture because we've been through this community. We have spoken to them on grounds and we understand what they like, what they don't like. And then we break the whole tournament into sections or segments to be called it at. So like the cricket, you have packages, the best catch of the season or the purple cap or the blue cap or the way subsequent catch or whatever like that terminologies were. This is where brands can get associated with the tournament. So we tell you, I mean, if there is a USP that you want to talk about, there is some message, a strong message you want to give, last man standing kind of a thing, probably there could be a segment where you can actually say, we are the last man standing and this is for you. I don't know. So it's more of a synergy, more of being together and then talking to this audience rather than making them kyun bol rahe ho aap? I mean, that you should not be doing. Or why are you here? This is not something which I want to see, or this is not what I want to hear. Then you're actually getting disconnected. So this is the conversation which is happening. So it's not just about how many brands, but it's more about relevant brands coming on board.
Okay, that also includes endemic and the non-endemic brands.
Endemic was always there. I mean, if you've seen us doing events in Nodwin. We've had a lot of brands who've come on board in different IPs and events. This is where the non-endemic is going beyond people who were aware about this whole esport thing.
Yes. So how are you planning to market it? Like, do you think there are enough awareness about esports in India? I mean, it's a cliche question I have asked so many people, but I'm still asking this.
I'm sure you got a lot many different answers when you ask different people,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
yes, is esport, people do know this? Yes, but that's the audience who follow esports. Masses, probably not. But they've come across this terminology in last couple of years because this has grown. I mean, when I say masses, this also includes brand managers, media strategists. They are also consumers in some way. So they've come across this. They've understood that there is something called esports happening in India, which was never been talked about, say, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What is this? That is the audience which we want to reach out to again, because they would help in creating the viewership. These are the people who will go back and say, yes, this is interesting. There's a lot of thrill here. There's a lot of excitement here. There are influencers who have like a million followers and I never knew about them. So a lot of awareness, not just esport, but the various granular things that happen within esports comes into picture. Like, for example, a stadium being made just to telecast this whole thing. Who knows about why do you need a stadium for an esport? It's like a sport,
Exactly.
right? So again, that picture comes into play. So will this stadium only do esports? Yes, it will only do esports. But then what more does it have than just gamers playing in the stadium? These are things which people will get to know when we embark on this journey, and then we keep talking about finer details in the show. So yeah, I mean, if it's, as I said, it's not about marketing this whole bit of esports on TV, but it's more about expanding the universe of audience who have somewhere touched a line and said, oh yeah, I mean, I've heard, but I can't have a communication because I really don't know much about it.
When my mom and dad will also watch esports with me.
Tell me something, Purav. If you are a esport player, you've been glued to your mobile screen forever, and they've been behind your back saying, "Kya kar rahe
Yeah.
ho? Band karo game." And suddenly they see you on Star Sports. What happens? Difficult to explain. I mean, same way. I mean, it's so difficult for me to see if my son sometime gets on this whole tournament bit and says, Dad, I'm going to be on Star Sports 2 prime time for 3 hours playing this game, and you can watch me live. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, it gives me goosebumps, right? That's the
Yeah.
thing. So that is something which brings, when I said it's becoming mainstream and is it worthy for prime time, it is. So that's the feeling, that's the awe thing that comes here.
I'm sure I will get goosebumps when I watch it on TV. So
Yeah.
for sure. So how will esports revolutionize brand associations, perceptions, and advertising space in India?
It will, because as I said, a whole lot of dark media audience who was never exposed on linear is coming live, and it's available to you on prime time. It's not just saying one day or weekend or during the day. It is something which is going to change the landscape of media planning. It's going to change landscape of how advertising should talk to this audience, because you cannot have, as I said, the same messaging which you're using for your mass audience to this audience. So a lot of newness comes into picture, a lot of esport related or the game related conversations, the words or the slangs used in this will come into picture. This is where the whole the boardroom discussions will be that अच्छा नेक्स्ट जब इसका फिनाले होगा तब हमको क्या मैसेज देना चाहिए. Same happened with every sport. Even IPL, if you've seen the advertisements, are different than what you would have seen otherwise from the same brand on a normal soaps, right? So
Right.
this is where the change happens. So it's going to definitely move ahead. A lot of creativity comes in, and trust me, I think India, we have the best creative people when it comes to ad agencies or story writers or
Yeah.
the creative directors. Earlier they did not have an opportunity, right? All the memes we see in India, we never get to see this in any other part of the world, right? I mean, the way we create instantly is what we are waiting for that to happen from 24th of June. So it's not going to be just about ad slots. It's going to be relevance. It's going to be this section of the game. Can I be more relevant and be smart enough to pass on my message? That is what honestly I'm looking for. I mean, that's going to be a big change.
I want to know, like, broadcast on Star Sports will be definitely for the first time, but will it be like, continuous process, like, for the upcoming esports thing, or is it just for this tournament?
You said it, right? Next 5 years, this probably becomes the best sporting event in the country. So obviously, right, that's how it becomes. So yes, it's a first step towards going on TV, and a lot more is planned, which is going to happen. Let's take this event right now. I mean, we are all excited to see BGMI on Star Sports on TV on prime time for 3 weeks. So I would say one step at a time.
So more games will be involved, like apart from BGMI, like Valorant and other.
Wait and
I
watch.
can't say right now. Okay. As a what you want or what the brand want, to expect for the people like my mom or my dad, like when they open Star Sports, what is the vision like you have made?
Take esports as sport. One underlying message. It's not just a game. It is a sport. And why we would say that is because this is how it enhances the authenticity of esports when people see it as a sport. So I think, yeah, one liner, esport is sport. As our promo says, it will be an epic sport.
Yes. So any plans for the grassroots level esports to be on TV?
It is not about, as I said, it's TV is one of the medium, right? What we are trying to do, or we've already done. I mean, it's not something which we are just saying, but we've walked this path for past so many years. So esports, when Nodwin got this to India, was considered to be a grassroots thing. The prize pools, the gamers, number of games available, venues, internet connection, all these were so challenging itself, because to get people on a stage to play game, never thought about it. Everybody was like dark, dingy cyber cafes, gaming cafes, and they play from there. Who came out in public to play esports? And that's all has changed, right? And then prize pools. I remember the first national tournament that happened with an international IP, which Nodwin got into India, was just about a 10 lakh rupee thing, right? And then that's a year-long bid. You're talking about one event, which is 1.5 CR. Look at the way it has changed. So it is a transition. It's a journey that is happening. It will never be saying now because we are on TV, we are going to be just looking at these games. We need more people to play the game, play the sport, be athletes, while as well, we also need more people to watch them, because that is where the glory comes in. So it's a journey. I mean, we will keep doing on a grassroots level, because effectively that is what is going to grow in future and become big.
Right.
This would not have happened if we did not do the grassroots level things in whatever 2015, 2016.
Can we expect more free for all tournaments than invitational on Star Sports?
Again, I think take TV as a medium, right? And this is just first of our event. A lot is happening. A lot is being planned. There are people who are thinking about, ye to aa gaya TV pe, ab kya? That is how Akshat is. That is how people in this whole company, even from everybody thinks ki acha ye ho gaya, ab iske baad kya? That iske baad kya is the next step. So you never know. I mean, will it continue like a year-long property on TV? Maybe. I mean, that's what might happen. But do we have any plans that we can really say ki next year hone wala hai? Something that we would not like to open up right now. But yes, like Nodwin got esports to India, like Nodwin got esports to TV, there is a lot more that Nodwin would do for this whole industry, this whole vertical in India.
For sure. Kudos and all the best for that. And also I have watched the official TV promo and it is amazing. It's looking amazing.
Nice, right? Thank you.
Yeah,
do
really
share
nice.
with more people, let people understand more.
Yes, for sure. I'll share that. And I think that's all for now.
Great.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and to subscribe to our channel. Tune into Star Sports Loco Glance Live on 24th June to catch up all the live actions of BGMI Master Series tournament. Until we meet again, stay safe and keep gaming.